Right here is Jonathan Kuminga. I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with him. He has the ball at near half court with a defender right in his face. He shakes the defender once before crossing back, hitting him with a hezi, and watch him then glide to the rim. Hold up, you guys saw that hesitation, right? Well, how about on this play? JK's bringing the ball up the floor, once again being pressed. His good friend GP2 comes in and sets a screen, so JK goes between the legs to lose the first defender and pulls right here. With two defenders in arm's reach, what do you think Kuminga does? Obviously, he splits the gap with a nasty left-hand crossover before attacking the rim. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. This is just an off-season scrimmage. He's not going to do any of this in the NBA. Well, one part of that is correct. It is only an off-season scrimmage, and he's not going to score 60 a game in the NBA, but he's more than capable of doing these things in the NBA on a nightly basis because we've seen him do it over and over again. Take this play for example where he's bringing the ball up the floor. Watch here as he fakes the DHO before crossing over Fontecchio, but it's his ability to then slow down and reverse it high off the backboard, showing a bit of finesse. Or here where again, Fontecchio is just out of his depth as JK spaces out to the three-point line before hitting a hezi, spinning back inside and using a really nice soft touch to drop it in. In fact, in this game against Utah, with no Steph Curry or Draymond Green, JK dropped 24, 5 and 4 on 13 shots, and that was simply because he knew exactly what he wanted to do every single time he got the ball, which was attack any kind of mismatch he had. Whether that was someone too slow or someone too small, there aren't many players capable of containing him when he decides to attack the rim and has the space to do so. He was also able to get to the free throw line because of plays like this, where he has the smaller Alexander Walker on the post-up, he lowers the shoulder, absorbs the contact, and just throws it down. And it's this skill set right here that makes Jonathan Kuminga an invaluable piece for the Golden State Warriors. And when I say his skill set is invaluable, I really mean it. I've mentioned this before, but last year the Golden State Warriors had 3 players who averaged 2 or more free throw attempts per game. Only 3. Just to put this into perspective, last year's finalists, the Nuggets and Heat, both had 5. This contributed to the Dubs averaging the least free throws a game in the NBA last year, which is more concerning when you consider they traded away the guy who averaged the most on the team. So unless you think Steph Curry has to start doing more than he's already doing at 35 years old, then it's time for Jonathan Kuminga to elevate into the player we all know he can be, and he has the perfect opportunity to do so. I mean, take Gary Payton II, for example. We all love what he can do defensively, and offensively he has such a unique skill set, but he was able to average 7 points on 62% shooting in 17 minutes a game, just off being in the right place at the right time. Kuminga already has some of those tendencies, but he's also 6'8", even more athletic, and oh yeah, he's pretty damn skilled as well. Because we can talk about the size and athleticism and what that means, but there's a reason the Dubs haven't even entertained trading him, and that's because not only does he fill a need, but he's still just scratching the surface of what he's capable of doing. I know it's just an off-season game, but in this game you can also see the level of skill he has, like here where on the back down he goes to the fadeaway, and it's cash. We've also seen him pull out middies in the NBA as well. Now, I'm no shooting expert, but that's definitely the form of someone who can be at the very least an average shooter, potentially much more. And if that shooting becomes average, then all of a sudden, those driving lanes start opening up, and at that point, the defense can only hope. I mean, looking at what he did in this off-season game, there's a reason JK scored 60 points. Yes, it's because he was the best player and athlete on the floor, but he also opened up driving lanes by knocking down shots like this. By hitting these shots, the defense reacted exactly how we would hope, by getting right up into his face. And all that did was allow him to use his speed to blow past the first defender. And once he does that, it doesn't matter if you are Giannis Antetokounmpo or a guy playing in the G League. If he gets a full head of steam going downhill, you can forget about it. Like on this play where Aldama falls for the hezi, and yeah. Can we just appreciate the elevation? He's practically floating through the air, yet at the same time, the dunk is ferocious. However, that's enough about his dunking ability. By now, you guys have probably realized I haven't even mentioned the best part of JK's game. It's the fact he's already a defensive weapon. According to B-Ball Index, last year Kuminga ranked 3rd in perimeter isolation defense. We've seen him guard Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Darius Garland, Luka Doncic, any of the elite guards in the NBA NBA, and JK has probably guarded them and done a good job. Not to mention he has the versatility to switch onto a big like Jaren Jackson Jr. or Domantas Sabonis on any given possession. But what makes his potential on defense so special is in addition to being elite at slowing guys down one-on-one, with his level of athleticism, he can slow down an entire team as a help defender. Just to put into perspective how freakish his athleticism is, this is what Kevon Looney said about him during last year's finals. In the NBA, everybody's athletic, but Kuminga's one of those different types of athletes. You talk about guys like the best athletes in the NBA, when Andre was at his peak, his athleticism. A guy like LeBron, Kuminga's had that type of athleticism. You can see that really fast. Both of these guys in their peak were two of the best wing defenders ever. Now, I'm not saying Kuminga will be that good, but that's the kind of athlete we are talking about, and that allows him to make plays like this. Right here is Anthony Edwards going around a screen. Just pause here. Look at where Kuminga is, and look where Ant is. There's no way JK should be able to block that shot, right? Right? Well, he does exactly that. And the hope is that with more plays like this, he can turn into a legitimate help side rim protector. He already improved in that aspect last year, going from 0.3 blocks per game in his rookie season to 0.5 most recently, and that's because he started making more plays like this consistently, where he's helping over and blocking shots at the rim like he's a big man. The same kind of plays that made Draymond Green one of the greatest defenders ever, by the way. Another reason JK is special is because when he does occasionally get beat off the dribble, he has the ability to still make a play on the ball, like here where Christopher hits him with a nasty crossover, but Kuminga stays in the play and swipes it away from behind. Every defender gets crossed or blown past, but if you can stay in the play and still make an impact on that possession, then you can become an impactful defender in every way imaginable. But I want to talk a little bit more about his offense, because sometimes I feel like people overlook the skill he shows just because of his raw athleticism. I mean, for starters, he's got pretty good footwork for someone his size. Occasionally he pump fakes too much, but he's generally really good at getting defenders to bite with pump fakes and pivots, like here where he beats Sabonis off the dribble, spins once, spins back the other way, and gets fouled by Murray. Or how about on two separate plays from the same game against Zion Williamson, where he recognized Zion was playing lazy defense, so he got him to jump on two different occasions. And this is particularly important because most of the guys that get to the line a lot, Embiid, Harden, these guys do everything in their power to get there, which includes a lot of baiting defenders. And if JK can do that, well then it's fair game in my eyes. There's also the potential of what he could do as a lob threat playing with Chris Paul. I mean, some of the plays he makes remind me of a certain player CP3 already played with. Like, who else in the NBA can go up for a normal alley and in midair decide he was going to switch it to a reverse because he ran out of space? That's the kind of athlete he is. Now, if you want to hear about another super athlete and what he could bring to the team, click here. Either way, have a nice day. Bye.